Good morning. I took the week off last week for Thanksgiving, but I am back and it's time for a reality check. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I am living in the light by documenting my weight loss journey using Optavia's 5-in-1 program. And as part of my living in the light, I am choosing to record on most weeks a reality check where I let you know how I did as far as weight loss in inches go. Keep in mind this last week was Thanksgiving week, but I was determined to stay on program. You know my word is steadfast, and I was exactly that, steadfast this last week. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But before I go any further, let me invite you to subscribe to my channel if you've not done that already. Just hit that subscribe button down below. That just lets me know that you are giving me words of encouragement and letting me know that you are part of this tribe and you want to see me succeed. Without further ado, let me show you how I did this week. That's right, Thanksgiving week, and I lost 3.4 pounds and I lost another inch. Now, for those of you who are on a weight loss journey yourself, keep in mind that weight loss is very relative to how much weight you have to lose. So I am losing an average of about 2.5 to 3 pounds a week, but I have a lot of weight to lose. If you are just needing to lose 15 pounds or 20 pounds, you're going to lose it at a much slower rate. You may only lose 0.5 pound a week, and that's totally fine. I am sure that when I get closer to my goal, that weight loss rate is going to slow down significantly. But for right now, I am going to take what I get and be very excited that on Thanksgiving week, I lost 3.5 pounds. That is a total of 66 pounds lost since the 20th of June, 2022, when I started, and a total of 32 inches total. Sometimes when you look at, or when I look at people's weight loss that they post on some of the Optavia pages that I'm on, they're losing as many inches as they are pounds. Sometimes they lose more inches than they do pounds. I'm at about half of the number of pounds is reflected in my inches. So I'm not really sure why that is, but it is what I have lost. So I wanted to tell you in the last 23 weeks, I have lost 9 inches off of my waist, and I measure right around where my belly button is. I have lost 2 inches off of each upper arm. I have lost 5.5 inches off of each thigh, and I measure like at the widest part of my thigh. I have lost 9.5 inches off of my chest. Yay, thank you, Lord. And I have lost 6 inches off of my hips, and I measure below my belly. So I'm sure that if I measured across, like included my belly, which is kind of around where my hips are at this point, sadly, I would probably have lost more inches, because I know I've lost a lot that way just based on the way my clothes fit. But I also knew when I started measuring that was not always going to be that way. And so I just measure underneath and get around the widest part of my rear end. And so that's what I have done. So full disclosure there, that's how I measure. I weigh first thing in the morning, and that's how I know that each week I am being consistent. So I talked about Thanksgiving before the week even started, but just let me share that I really planned the week. I planned that meal. I knew ahead of time, the meal was at my house, so that was very helpful. But there were 12 people at my house, and we had a regular Thanksgiving dinner with all of the regular trimmings. but I prepared for myself and knew that I could have, turnips are one of my favorite Thanksgiving traditional vegetables, and that is on program. I made sure that I had those. I roasted vegetables, and I knew I could have those, and I made that cauliflower stuffing, and I had some of that. Truth be told, I wasn't that crazy about it. I love cauliflower, but it wasn't, I think, it just wasn't the same. Stuffing is one of my favorite things, and I think I have discovered that it's almost better to not have a substitute for the things that you love, because the substitutes are not going to be the same. They're not going to taste the same. They're not going to necessarily scratch that itch. And if I just tell myself and remind myself that there are foods that I am just not going to be able to have right now specifically, and potentially not be able to have in the future, it's a whole lot easier than trying to figure out what I can have and when I can have it. So I think that in the future, because this is probably going to continue for a little bit of time, if it comes around to Thanksgiving next year, it's just not going to be an option, and I will just have vegetables and enjoy the smells of those things, because cooking all of that food, and I did most of the cooking, was good. Like, it didn't bother me to smell those things, to serve those things up, to make macaroni and cheese and cornbread dressing and gravy. It didn't bother me at all to make it, because I was making it for people that I love, and I was focusing on my gratitude for those people in my life. And I think it is truly a mental game that you have to play with yourself, and that you have to really convince yourself or remind yourself that life is about more than food, that food is actually fuel for your day. And there are times where food can be enjoyable, but if you are living from meal to meal, food to food, and so focused on food, that is going to get you in a dangerous place, or it's going to get me in a dangerous place, which is where it did. And now I'm having to reverse all of that. So all of that to say, we still have more holidays coming up. It is going to be Christmas and New Year's. And so plan ahead as you are thinking about the holidays, as you are thinking about holiday parties, get-togethers with family and friends. Plan ahead. Don't show up unprepared. Don't go to a party and put yourself in a place of temptation with nothing to get yourself out. Always have fuelings in your purse or your bag, stashed in your car, whatever that may be. If you plan ahead, you can succeed. So all of that to say, I had a great week last week. I'm looking forward to another great week. I am 9 pounds away from my halfway point. And my goal is to be at that halfway point by the 1st of January. If I continue to lose at the 2.5 pound rate, I will be beyond that by the 1st of January, which is very exciting to me. So we'll just have to stay tuned and see if I can just keep on this trajectory and continue to lose at this rate. I will be halfway to my goal by the 1st of January, and then I can set another goal and we'll see where that takes me. I also think that I might lower my goal a little bit, but I'm gonna wait until I get once I lose that first 100 pounds, I'll see how I feel. And because I wanna lose 150 total, I may end up losing 175. We shall see. One other little announcement that I wanted to make that I haven't really talked about. If you read my description boxes below my videos, you saw a change a month or so ago. I did decide to become an Optavia coach. Honestly, it's really just a glorified salesperson, and I am not going to be, that's not my goal. I don't want the business side of being a coach. What I do want is the training. I want the access to resources and information so that I can provide more information through my YouTube channel, which is really my way of coaching. I did tell my coach that if somebody came to me and said, hey, I want to do this program and I need a coach, I would consider it. Not saying that I would say yes to that. I do teach high school composition, and I've got about 50 students that are turning in essays pretty much every week. And that really, on top of my customer service job with that company, I am fairly busy and I like to have a life. And I'm also not great talking on the phone. I don't really enjoy talking to people on the phone, and I don't enjoy bothering people. So being a coach is probably not in my wheelhouse, but I did it for the training. So if you see that information in my description box, know that I am an Optavia coach. I am not certified. I haven't gone through any specific training. I bought a kit. Much like being a Mary Kay lady or a Tupperware lady, that's pretty much what this is. So I'm by no means an expert, but I am trying to get as much information as I can so that I can be well informed to inform you when I create my videos, so I'm providing good content for all of you Optavia people out there. All right, that's all I have this week. I will see you back again next week or in another video that I post later this week. So until I see you next time, please live in the light.